And 3, 2, 1. It's already rolling.
All right. Well, here we are again, aren't we?
Yep. Here we are again, and let's see, it's about. Let's see, it is almost. Sorry, just a minute here. Let's clear my shit. It's 10. Right now, 10:58 p.m. It is actually Wednesday, April 12th. It's still April 12th. Didn't we do the last commentary past midnight? I don't even.
I pretty sure we did, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, right. I'm sure and not sure, too.
You're right. So anyway, we thought, well, I think we had at one point, I think you suggested it last night that we, during the last night's commentary of anxietY 101, that we should, that it might take more than one commentary to totally cover that fucking thing. So I guess here we are.
Yeah, here we are exactly for that reason, and so we were going to try to just run through it because last night we ended up, we did a commentary on it last night, but we didn't get it, we didn't really, we talked about too much other crap, I guess.
Yeah.
And didn't get a whole lot of chances in there to talk about the actual lyrics of it, so we thought we would roll it again. One more time, just give it one more attempt here because we've had we've had multiple commentaries and other things, right?
Oh yeah, yes. Not diarrhea. Fourth Christmas had like 4 of them. Fucking 4 of them.
Yeah, 4, and then that was kind of. Actually, that was the first commentaries we ever did. The Jamie Zahn commentaries. First ones we ever did were the Fourth Christmas ones, right?
Yeah. Pretty well, yeah. Before that was the JOS shit, but yeah, right. And then it was the one Jamie did. There is, for you audience out there, there is one. It's about a 9 or 10 minute clip of Jamie way back in the day. Jamie Deluge. Actually, it was pretty much around the same time, but we like to say that it was Jamie when she was really young. So that's back when her name was Jamie Deluge, before she was married into being Jamie Richardson.
Yeah, or you could have been, even better. Better yet, you could have been like Zahn Deluge.
Yes, and I've never been opposed to that either. I've never been opposed to that. You just my last name, taking my wife's last name instead of my own. In my previous marriage, I wanted to do that. And,
Really?
yeah, and the real ones, not the Richardsons. But the born ones.
Yeah, the ones that are not in our heads. Not these by any means.
Right. And I wanted to do that, but well, hell, obviously I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing at this point, yeah. Well, actually, at this point, you probably would have. I mean, it's been years, so you probably would have changed it all that back over anyway, right?
Yeah, and well, I would have changed it back from her last name, but who knows? Maybe at that point, if I had to go through all that shit, maybe I would have changed my, maybe I would have actually legally changed it to Richardson too, and then you and me could have been,
Oh yeah. We could have really been Richardsons, legally, on our driver's license, fucking Richardsons.
Yeah.
That'd been cool, just because of not how it's I mean, just because anyway.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Not just because of the name Richardson, but because of Ron Richardson came from Mr. Ma, Martin Mull. Now my middle name is Martin. Zahn Martin Richardson, and
yeah, right. And just because of all that history, I guess it would have made it cool. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, we should probably.
Yeah. Why don't you get that thing rolling there? We're gonna do one more commentary, as we mentioned before, on the free anxiety therapy for the poor, part 101, right?
Right, 101, yeah.
Yeah, but not part 101, but 101, yeah. 101, 102, we explained it on last night's commentary, so let's move on with that shit. Tonight we're gonna try to just talk a little bit more about the lyrics, right?
Yeah, we're gonna attempt it. In fact, it probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to You know what? How about we just pull the damn lyrics up here?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, on the external?
Yeah. Let me try to just get them all up here, and then we can just have them right in front of us and try to follow some of them.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And
I'm just going to pull up the RTF here, not the PDF.
yeah, whatever. That works. Okay, so, do you want me to, turn it on then?
Yeah, let me just, hold on a second. I got it almost pulled up here. Actually, I don't. They're pulled up already, but you do it.
Okay, you wanna do the away from the microphone effect that sounds like I'm on the other side of the room there, son?
Exactly.
All right, here we go. Here goes Jamie. I'm talking in third person, but it's only for these commentary purposes.
Right.
So I'm gonna go turn that on, okay, son?
All right, I'll be right here, and you'll be over there.
That's right. Okay, I'm over here, and you are over there, right?
I'm right here. Are you going to turn it on?
Yep. Here we go.
Cool.
There we go.
This will be awesome.
Yeah, let me just... Shit. Okay, it's going.
Cool. All right, come back here and sit down next to me, and let's do the commentary.
Yeah. All right, I'm coming back and sitting down next to you.
Exactly.
Okay. Here we go. Anxiety, part 1 of 3. We should just, these two this one and last night's one's on. We should probably just make it a package deal, because that would make a lot more sense.
Right, and even though it's going to be twice as long, fuck it. There's not a bad idea because it'll make people listen to it twice, too, even though it's kind of in the background there, but they'll still kind of listen to it. They'll kind of still be forced to hear it twice, and at that point, hell, maybe they'll even,
Yeah. Maybe they'll even listen to the actual album there, or EP,
Yes. All right, so we've got the lyrics in front of us here, and by the way, we last night's commentary. I just want to mention real quick.
Yeah.
That we probably a little bit. It was recorded a little bit too loud. We were recording through the new webcam, which also has the microphone plugged in, so it's not the old iMac built-in one. It's it's that one. I forgot what brand it is. We'll try to figure that out later.
Yeah, right. Yeah, get around to that time.
I will try. Anyway, so it's the new mic, and last night's commentary we heard it back and realized it was kind of recorded too loud. So I was pretty sure we were able to. There was a way to turn down the input mic volume a little bit, and of course there was. So we did that. We got it turned down a little bit, and we hope that it's enough, and we're still not.
Yeah, because last night, we were talking and some of it distorted out. Actually, the background, we were listening to anxiety in the background, and that sounded pretty good to me. Even the quality and everything was pretty damn good for background, for live and all that. Yeah, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was. Actually, that was better than us talking. So anyway.
Yeah, let's get to point. Get on point, or whatever you call it there.
Okay. So anxiety part 1 here. So basically, I guess what we were trying to say last night is part 1 is, and it's simply put, is the intro of the 3, at least so far, right?
Yeah, well, right, because we haven't even barely gone to part 2 yet. We're still kind of trying to figure out logic. We have gotten a little further. We'll discuss that later, right?
Yeah, we'll save that for later.
Yeah, but got a little further on it, but still not quite far enough, right?
Yeah, there's just some basic things we've got to learn. We've actually learned some of the more complicated things than the basic things. We figured out some of the effects, how to put them on, the presets. We found how to do that, right?
Yeah, which is a cool thing. That's really cool as hell. But we still have not learned some basic shit, just how to cut parts and violence and stuff like that. We kind of learned it, but we're still kind of in the beginning stages, right?
Yeah, right. So So that's that. That's where we are with that. So there's not going to be a part 102 just as of yet. Still working on it. But anyway, we've got, and anyway, we say anyway a lot, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We've been noticing that in the last couple commentaries that we say that too. Just like we used to say, too much, right?
Yes. So yeah, we say anyway too much. Also.
Yeah. So anyway, would you please just get on point?
All right. So anyway,
So just fucking try to ignore it, okay?
All right. So here we go. Part 1, which is we've kind of decided is just kind of the intro, at least of the first 3 that we have done here.
Yeah.
And just kind of, just the first thing. It's part 1, and it's telling you just what's going on. The intro. Yes, we have anxiety, and this is kind of some of the effects that it has on us, and things like that.
Right. Exactly. Right. It's just this is kind of what happens to us. This is where we're at. It's the intro to the anxiety, to the whole thing that we're going. That, by the way, can be. We were on to mention this last night and did not. And just that anxiety, like about the day after Christmas and all that, but also, I mean, obviously, anxiety has many, 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 many levels. So this can be applied in many ways, and that's why Zon was saying last night it's literally a free course. If you want to take it, we're offering it free to anyone, right?
Exactly. And also, damn it, let's not get too far into it before we mention Beans. Beans, our healer, is hanging out. By the way, this is Zon Martin Richardson, and you are.
What? Oh, I am Jamie Robin Richardson, and yes, you're right, Zon. And we are hanging out with Beans Richardson, who I think we gave Beans a middle name at some point. I think it was Love, right? Wasn't it Love? Beans Love Richardson. Beans Love Richardson.
Yes, my lordy, now that you mention it, I think that's the first thought I had of that in a long time. I think you're right. I'm pretty sure we did kind of decide that. Probably like last summer sometime. It's the 2016 summer.
Yeah. No shit. So anyway. Damn it. There we go. With that. But anyway, God, I can't stop doing it. Beans Love Richardson. And that's Zon Martin Richardson over there. And I am Jamie Robin Richardson. So anyway, that was part 1, and like Zon said there, it's pretty much the intro, and it's kind of that like anxiety, dark march, kind of a slow pace. This whole thing is kind of kind of doom, like I've heard a couple people that I know talk about like this doom rock, how it's kind of like, it's, to me, I think I know what they're talking about. It's like it rocks hard. Not that this rocks super hard, but it rocks a little bit. But it's like slowly, instead of going, a million miles an hour, it kind of just, it like slowly, it gets you here and it gets you to the next one, Did that sound too grungy?
Yeah, that wasn't bad, Jamie. I think the next album we may have to get you to do some more violent female vocals.
That'd be cool. Honestly, I think that'd be cool, but I don't know that I could pull it off.
Well, it sounds, you kind of just did now.
Well, that may have been an accident. I'd be willing to try it, but I don't know if I could ever do it again. Maybe a one-time thing. So.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, so here we go. The whole theme of tonight is anyway.
Yeah, we might as well just make it that, because it doesn't seem we're ever going to be able to stop saying that, so we might as well just do it. So anyway. So we're on to part 2 now, which by the way, we should probably mention, we were trying to get part 1 and 2 to fade or meld into each other or whatever, but it was kind of hard.
Yeah, we've done that before, like Deep Freeze. The whole thing was supposed to do that, and Fourth Christmas as well, but we tried to do it in part 1 and 2 of Anxiety here, but it kind of worked, but you can kind of hear where it goes in. There it goes. It's kind of like
yeah. You can hear, it kind of gets quiet and then it kind of goes again, like that.
Exactly. Right. So we tried to do that. Didn't work too great, but it worked a little anyway. Anyway. So we're on part 2, and now part 2 of Anxiety 101. First one was kind of the just intro. The second one is now kind of, I guess, more of a realization, or just more of a freak out about it. Like, part 1 was just kind of informing everyone this is what's going on. Now part 2 is kind of going, okay, yeah, this is what's going on, and it's affecting us, right?
Yeah, it's kind of more freaking us out a little bit, and that's why I guess the music in this part 2 becomes a little more aggressive, right?
Yeah, I guess it's you know how we write everything. We just kind of keep building on it until it's done. We really don't have, we have an idea, but we don't know how the beginning and end is going to go until we just kind of, build this mountain up or whatever.
Yeah, like we just kind of keep building a sandcastle until we keep climbing to the top of the stairs and it's finished or something, and takes these little detours here and there maybe once in a while and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. We try to just do as much as we can, make it as weird or different as we can. I mean, it's just, we just do the best we can do, and that's all it is.
Yeah, right. So anyway. So part 2 is a little more taking you in the depth of how it's affecting us. Like part 1, like you said, was just this is what's going on, but the intro, this is what's happening. But then part 2 is kind of like, okay, this is what's happening, but this is how it's affecting us as well, right?
Yes, yeah. Trying to. Well, in the end, once it was finished, I guess that's the sense we made out of it anyway.
Yeah. A lot of times it doesn't make as much sense as it does while we're doing it as it does once it's finished. Yeah. That is. There's some truth in that. There's truth in all of that. So anyway, and here we have like some more rocking music going on here, right?
Right.
Yeah. We're trying to lyrically and musically here in part 2 show like more the effect of the anxiety on us. Part 1, again, just the intro telling you, yes, we have anxiety and this is kind of what's going on. Part 2, yes, this is the anxiety and this is how it's affecting us. So it's a little more intense here, right?
Yeah. As it turned out, as we made sense of it, like we were laughing about a minute ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good way to put it. Actually, what you said there was all true too, like everything you said last night.
Yeah. I think we're a little more parched last night. Actually, I think we had less beers, but we're somehow making a little bit more sense tonight. I don't know. Well, it's a little more practice too, I guess.
Yeah. The more we do it, the more we do anything.
Yeah, because it's all that too. No matter beers, whatever we do, it practice always kind of helps a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're still in part 2, and actually, I think at this point we're pretty much caught up to it, without like just reciting all the lyrics and singing along here.
Yeah. Right. You don't have to. There's no need to do that, because anyone interested enough in listening to the commentary should have been interested enough in listening to the damn album in the first place beforehand.
Right. Probably. You would probably think that.
Yeah. So sorry about these horrible choruses here.
So shut up.
I don't know. I mean, some of them are alright. Some of them are like, oh my god. I wish we could redo it. And that was the one thing you couldn't save on the old, from the old 2007 iMac onto the external one.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have all the files saved on there. Everything that we ever did digitally since 2003 probably is saved on the Seagate up until these 3 tracks, damn it, of the Anxiety here, 101. We were lucky enough, we were able to reboot that old iMac one more time and able to get iTunes open, and we were able to burn, because we did have the final songs, but we did not, we were able to burn the final songs onto a disc before that thing
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything else,
Wow, that's good. I mean, it sucks, the files,
I mean, technically they're still on there. We just cannot retrieve them at this point. There's things that we can get that we could probably retrieve it with, so I'm not too worried about it, and all that. If we ever get back around remastering and we get to 102, get that done, and we go back to 101, we want to remaster the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So probably you're saying be able to do that if it comes out to it.
Probably, yeah.
Alright, that's cool. That's a good thing. And so, that's good. That's a good thing. Yeah, let me take a little sip of beer here. And you too, son.
Yes, us both.
That's weird, but you're right.
Sure.
Oh shit, I had the fucking can on the wrong side. I'm such a doofus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no. No. What I meant to say is you're not a doofus, but I am a kumquat.
Okay. You're a kumquat, I'm a doofus. I'm cool with that.
Good.
Just shut up. I understand you, okay?
I know.
There you have it. Wait, drink your beer. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
I didn't know what to say there for a minute. I thought, first I thought you burped, but then I knew you were choking or something.
No. I tried to burp and tried to make it funny, but it didn't sound good. That's why I said your burps sound way better than mine, because just the lower pitch burps are better. I was on anyway, so this is part 3. So we need to talk a little bit about that, at least before we go back into ranting about nothing here. You want to...
Yes, I will flip down the lyrics a little bit. Let's at least view the part 3 lyrics here a little bit. And I'll give you this just to make you feel a little bit better there, Jamie.
Jesus. Well, thank you. Actually, I do feel better. And I told you, those bassier burps.
What?
They do sound better.
Get out of here. All right, part 3.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So part 3, okay, just a quick refresh. Part 1 was kind of the intro. Yes, we have anxiety. Part 2 was we have anxiety and this is how it's affecting us. That's why part 2, the music, the lyrics were a little more intense, a little more rocking, kind of, the intent of that, I guess, was kind of to scatter your brain a little more, scatter the listener's thoughts and brains a little bit more there. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. And so part 3 as
part 3 is as we decided last night, is kind of we return. It's a return to Jamie and me's self-indulgence or something. In the end, we kind of realized that part 3 we kind of wrote about ourselves again there.
Yeah, we it's still about anxiety, but now like part 1 the intro, part 2 we have anxiety and this is how, part 1 we have anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Part 2 we have anxiety and this is how it's affecting us, a little more intense, right?
Yes.
And part 3, now we kind of go back to, well, this is Jamie and Zahn, and we talk here a little more about, again, and we've done this before with some lyrics, obviously, and we talk about how it's the two of us, kind of two people living in one person and all that shit. But now it's kind of the story of how we are together, the two of us together, and dealing with our anxiety. And I guess the intent in the end is to, if anyone actually listened to all this and read the lyrics, I would have to say that by the end of listening to it and reading all these lyrics, I'm reading some of this, it's kind of fucked up. And it should make most people feel a little bit better about themselves because, once they kind of, see, in a way, everybody wants to kind of be a legend, Son. No matter how much you think it's crap or whatever, everyone wants to write a book about themselves, and they want everyone to read it. I mean, it's the self-indulgence of being a human being, and or at least, I don't know, most people, maybe not everyone, but you know, I mean.
Yeah, you're right. It is kind of like we want people. You're right. I mean, only people anyone could actually be interested enough in this to be like, if someone could write us and say, wow, we listened to it, we've read the lyrics, we relate. Holy shit! I guess that's really all anyone wants. Anyone that's in whether it be some famous person or anyone off the street.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone wants their story to be told. And that's all it fucking is, for us too. And I guess these 3 parts here, I mean, by these 3 parts, I'm not sure, like, what the hell, like, part 102, if we do another, like, 3 8-minute things for part 102, what the hell that's gonna be,
Right, I got some ideas off that, but you're right. I don't know what the hell it's gonna be at all. Just I had one idea like of it just being totally different, like just some acoustic guitar and like maybe not even so many trippy effects, maybe just a totally different thing. Like I don't know, maybe we'll do a folk. Yeah.
Okay, well, shit, who knows? I don't know if I can sing like that, but well, I guess we would find out. Eh?
Right.
Yeah, and I kind of had an idea too of like, I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I don't know.
Just whatever, just say it.
Well, I don't think we've ever done this before on anything. I'm pretty sure we've never done it. But like, start out with vocal part. Have like a few lines, just vocals, just one vocal, and then have some music kind of fade in after that,
Yeah. That is not a bad idea. You're right. I'm pretty sure you're right. I don't think we have ever done anything like that before. By the way, we are 27 minutes and 20 seconds into this. I just want to make sure a QuickTime's still rolling here. By the way, we're on a QuickTime. We're doing it at QuickTime because first of all, we haven't quite figured out Logic. It's still, like we mentioned earlier, there's still some bugs we're working out. We learned a little bit more today, but there's still
some like basic functions that are actually very important to learn before we can do anything, even before the effects and all that. So
yeah, we gotta learn that shit.
Yeah. And what was the other thing?
Oh, the QuickTime.
Yeah.
We're doing this on a QuickTime because I think we've decided at this point that we're gonna see how this one comes out tonight. Hopefully it's like I said, we turned down the input volume a little bit because last night's commentary was a little bit loud and distorted. I turned it down a little bit here. Hopefully I turned down enough, and hopefully I didn't turn it down too much. We'll see how it comes out. It's still
all touch and go here. Everything's kind of new here still, and it's just a new chapter's on. It's just another one of them chapters like you always talk about.
Exactly. Still learning some stuff here. So we're doing it on a QuickTime because I think we're going to do all the commentaries on a QuickTime, and it's because I think they come out better. I mean, when it comes to recording music, of course, we'll do the internal line in for most of that shit. But I'm thinking if we could somehow use the webcam microphone, even for the vocals, it might be better than our old microphone we have here,
Yeah, shit, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So anyway, at least for the anyway, yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
We're gonna do the live cam mic for the commentaries because it seems like last night, even though it was turned up a lot, it did pick us up good, and picked up the background, running the album in the background, the bass amp here through the iPod, and seemed to pick that up really, really good, pretty decent quality.
Yeah, it seemed like better quality we used to have. Yeah, didn't it?
Yeah. So anyway, here's the jam part.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah. Do it.
Alright.
It wasn't.
Yeah. It's better than last night anyway. think that first one I did was better than the one I just did.
Yeah, they both weren't too bad.
No, I'm glad they weren't too bad. Seriously, I know.
That's why nothing offends either of us, because we're the same person.
Exactly. You can, I know the vocals weren't great. I may be a girl, and you may tell me they weren't great. I'm not gonna get offended because I'm a girl, or because I'm you, and you're me, and I'm a guy too, and you're a girl too.
Exactly. Anyway, it's you and me.
Until we're dead.
Exactly. And there you go. That was the end of the album, Jamie.
Yeah, it was the end. Go.
Oh, shit. All right, I'm turning it up.
Cool. I'm sorry. We keep doing that. There's we're playing that off an iPod, and there's like another commentary that it's an old JOS commentary that keeps coming on after that. So.
Yeah, I got it under control. Yeah, it's an old JOS commentary. JOS, hell, we'll explain that later. It's what we used to do before the Jamie and Zahn commentaries, basically.
Yeah, it was pre-Jamie anyway. I this voice did not exist at that point, and anyway.
Yeah.
Come back here.
All right, I'm coming. All right, so yeah, that was a voice we used to do, and all right, I guess I used to do, even though we're all. It's kind of hard to explain,
Yeah. Yeah, it was JOS was actually Zahn's JO was his actual born initials, and the S stood for sound effects, and he used to do you mind me explaining this?
Go ahead, you're on a rampage.
Right. I think it's kind of cool how we started out. I mean, how you started out, and how you and me ended up being we. I mean, you used to be me. Me used to be me, and then you were you, and I was me, and now we're we.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so J.O. was. May I go on here? Can I? Is it okay if I?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you might as well.
All right. So J.O. was his initials, and the S stood for sound effects. And when he was a little kid, his dad gave him in the early 80s, gave him this 1969 Panasonic tape recorder. And that's where it all started. And you had that sorry, a couple years where you didn't talk there.
Yeah, I took a vow of silence. I don't know why. I think I was just afraid. For some reason, I just got paranoid one day of someone hearing my voice, so I just stopped talking that day, and for some reason it lasted for a couple of years, and it was just a big old weird thing. But anyway, I think anyway.
Just go on.
So my dad gave me, in the early 80s, gave me this 1969 Panasonic tape recorder. And actually, I had this Mickey Mouse radio that I'm looking at right now. I have it. My mom gave it back to me, to us later, about a year ago.
Yeah. That's cool though.
It doesn't really work anymore, but it used to have, it was an AM radio. And it had Mickey Mouse pointing up and down with his arm, and that's how you adjusted, that's how you tuned in the AM radio. But it also had a microphone. It was just a little speaker, a little intercom. You could just talk through it and do whatever and sing through it and sing along to an AM song, I guess.
That's cute. I love it.
Yeah, well, I never really did that. Anyway, a year or two after that, my dad gave me this. He had his old Panasonic tape recorder. By then, he had gotten another tape deck or something for his console stereo back in the day. So he gave me this Panasonic, and that's kind of part of what ended. Actually, also my sister had a big part of that too. She kind of hooked up getting me a puppy, and who was Roxanne ended up being Roxy and all that.
Yeah, Roxy. Oh my lordy, yes. Yeah, your sister had that whole chart. You get to a certain level. If you talk to mom, you get a gold star, and you talk to your teacher, the gold star, and you work down. She did kind of counsel you on that, son. You kind of owe a lot to Dipper for that.
Yes. And to my brother Beanie for doing car work. I owe a lot to all of them. Beanie, Dipper, my mom, G-Man, all of them. My lord.
I know. Well, the best you can do is give him gratitude and give him what you can give him. Hopefully, can understand. I mean, some of these commentaries are we could shout out to them in the commentaries, and this is our way of saying, we love you guys, and all that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So,
So get back to the Panasonic, though. You know.
okay, yeah. So let's, we got to get the commentary done here pretty quick. Let me wrap this up really fast because we're already like way after the end of anxietY 101 there. So let me just
go ahead.
Yeah. So the Panasonic led me to start help the sister and Roxy. The Panasonic led me into talking again and therefore recording and so the JOS thing was JOS JO damn it sound effects JO sound effects. And we'd go around the house and just record anything that made a sound. The can opener, here's a light switch turning on and off. The toilet flushing was always
yeah, the toilet was always to this day a classic one, right? Diary of Diarrhea, right?
Yes. Only a couple of 2015 recording, Diary of Diarrhea. That was it was G.G. Allen influence, but because of that, we also were able to bring back a classic of our own, the sound of the toilet flushing. So that was that was great, right?
Yes.
So anyway, so that led on, to just recording and then later on doing, sound effects, but also just a lot of talking back in the day. And then I started going through like puberty or something. My voice started changing, so for a number of years there, I kind of didn't like my voice and didn't record and dabbled in it a little bit, but over a lot of years, maybe 15 years. I mean, it was like somewhere between the age of maybe 12, 13, 14, 15, 14, 15, somewhere around there. Probably the last recording I did talking wise up until like my mid later 20s, in the trailer, the 2003 Drunken Sessions. And then sorry.
Go ahead. Let it out.
Oh, jeez. Well,
you feel better?
Yes, I'm all right now.
Good. So anyway, go ahead with the Drunken Sessions.
Oh yeah, so by then we had gotten a hold of the first 2003 was the first year we got our first Logic, old 1996 Macintosh, and we the first Logic. So the first time we were able to record digitally, which of course was supposed to be used for music, but also I discovered we could just do sessions like this, and just talk into it and making. At that point, we were just burning CDs. Had very little hard drive space, like 3 gigs. I had 2 hard drives. One was 1 gig, the other one was 2, so a total of 3 gigs hard drive space. So basically, you could record something, burn it onto a disk, and then wipe the whole thing dry, empty before you could record again and do another project.
That's primitive, but that's cool. Yeah, that's pretty. Back in the day, but it was cool. Just the progression of all that. It's very interesting.
Yeah. So, getting back to the JOS, so we started doing that, and that's when we started realizing we just bullshit, just like do audio diaries, I mean, just like doing them on cassette years ago, except this time we still kind of did sound effects. We still said, hey, let's still do JOS stuff, like, yeah, I'm 30-something years old, or 20-something, 40-something now years old, but let's still just do, shit like we were 10, except we'll do it on, into the computer with a microphone now instead of on a cassette tape and all that, and still record the, yeah, the toilet flushing and all that. And but we did some of that, and it kind of derived into like these audio diaries though. So we did I think just really that one in 2003 in the trailer, and then didn't do another one until 2005. And then we just did all these just audio diaries. But it was the way we did it back then was we'd record it into Logic, the old Logic, and just normal voice. Just normal, the one that we were given at birth and grew in, the adult version of that, not this voice and not Jamie's voice.
Oh, right. Certainly not this voice. I don't know who, well, some of them may have predicted this voice, who knows? Some people that we knew when we were little may have thought we'd turn out this way, who knows? Who knows? I mean, we don't know anything, right?
Right. So, yeah, but before we did these imitations, the Jamie and Zahn stuff, it was just the normal male voice we had. We'd record it, but then we'd put the pitch shift down, bring it down a few and make it lower, or a few of them we made it higher, like chipmunks. And so we just ended up doing it. We ended up doing, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 of them fucking things, probably, And then and then later on we did more recordings here, and then and the all that JOS audio diary stuff is kind of what ended up leading into the Jamie and Zahn commentaries here,
You're right.
So at first it was commentary on one of our music recordings, but then we realized, well, it'd be fun to just do rants and stuff like this,
Yeah, exactly. It's fun to do the different voices, and it's also fun to practice them. It's good to practice them,
Right, exactly. So I think we're 41 minutes in here. I think we've been ranting long enough, don't you think? I think we've actually covered a lot here, talked about a lot.
Yeah, I think we've finally laid it down. I think between last night's commentary and this one, as long as, like you said, it's not too loud, I think I'm looking at the levels now, and nothing seems to be, getting, even I see it's jumping a little high, but it's got to be better. Well, anyway, we'll listen back and we'll see, right?
Yeah, we'll just see. Hopefully it'll work out a little better here. And anyway.
Yep, theme of the night. Anyway.
Yeah, so I guess we could wrap it up then. It's actually still Wednesday, April 12th, 11:39 p.m. And we should, because we've had no nap today. We need to go to bed soon for sure.
Yeah, we've done a little. We got everything tonight started a little bit earlier, but that was because of no nap. So that's why we also have to get bedtime going a little earlier here too.
Exactly. So, sign out.
Yep. I don't know why that app just made that noise, but.
And it almost sounds like it was hooked to a computer, and the computer went to sleep.
Yeah, that's how the stereo used to sound. That's kind of weird it did that, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway. Theme of the night. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, let's sign out. It's getting there. 11:40 p.m. Wednesday, April 12th, 2017, right?
Exactly. So.
Go ahead.
Zahn Martin Richardson signing off. And Beans.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Beans. Beans Love Richardson here with us. And I am Jamie Robin Richardson, and we are signing off. Good night, everyone. And it's only still 4 days till Easter. God, the last commentary we did was still today.
I know. That's kind of horrible.
Let's go to bed, man.
All right. Signing off. The Richardsons, HeelerZ. Good night.
And good night.